Now, Barack Obama has been nominated as the U.S. Democratic presidential candidate as the party's national convention drums up support for his re-election bid in November. Obama said that Americans were, quote, absolutely better off than 4 years ago. But the country's growing national debt, unemployment and broken promises have plagued his campaign. As RT's Marina Portnaya reports.
In 2008, Barack Obama turned U.S. politics into something of a pop culture phenomenon.
We meet at one of those defining moments, a moment when our nation is at war, our economy is in turmoil.
The Democratic presidential candidate accepted his party's nomination, vowing to rebuild America's moral standing and break from the policies of his predecessor.
The failure to respond is a direct result of a broken politics in Washington and the failed policies of George W. Bush.
4 years after change occupied the White House, America is still at war. 23 million citizens are unemployed, and most of the national security policies cemented by George W. Bush continue unabated or have been expanded.
The codification of what were illicit abuses under Bush, imprisonment without trial, spying without warrant. We've now replaced imprisonment and torture largely with assassination, which is actually not a moral improvement.
Under Obama's leadership, Guantanamo Bay remains open. The Patriot Act has been renewed. Warrantless wiretapping extended, but CIA black sites have closed. Targeted killings have been justified. Drone strikes publicly acknowledged. Military commissions codified. However, enhanced interrogation, like waterboarding, has been banned. Critics say Obama has not only doubled down on Bush's policies, he's also raised the stakes. Signing the National Defense Authorization Act made him the first U.S. president to assert the right to assassinate anyone, anywhere, without any legal sanction.
If there is a war prize out there, like a Nobel War Prize, Barack Obama should tops the list.
This made many of those who voted for him hoping for change left disillusioned. In fact, what they appear to have voted for was more of the same. Obama's ratings are now the lowest of any incumbent president since the 1980s.
The two major parties are very much the same on all the important issues when it comes to spending more money than we have, engaging in foreign conflicts that we can't afford.
The cost of America's overseas military campaigns have contributed to a U.S. national debt that topped $16 trillion this week. While Obama's America is running on empty, critics say Wall Street continues to play largely by the same rules that led to the global financial crisis.
There hasn't been regulation of the banks in a sufficient way, and the main crisis affecting the United States, which is to say the financial clutch on the global economy and the corporate stranglehold on the political system, hasn't changed at all because President Obama comes from the coalition that led to that in the first place.
Since Obama has stepped into the White House, America has seen an unprecedented rise in grassroots movements like the Tea Party and Occupy Wall Street. Though both very different, one thing uniting them is the claim that the people of America are being ignored by their own government. The two major U.S. political parties have historically gone to great lengths and have spent hundreds of millions of dollars to highlight their differences. Yet following Obama's first term in office, the biggest change may be that more voters are likely to see a Democrat and a Republican as two sides of the same coin. Marina Portnaya, RT, New York.